gallon of water for 30 seconds.
Spicy bugs.
Yeah.
Spicy
category?
bug. I'm pretty.
I love
Harley
my
is
students from the
distracting
hallway
herself.
singing "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Okay, they can't
Harley,
sing
that-
Christmas songs. It's not after Thanksgiving yet.
Harley, that was the
20 years
first
that we
thing
were
on
walking down the hall
stream.
shouting it.
And there's the copyright.
Harley, the first thing we got on stream was you saying 20 of my students are walking down the... Okay, I think we should be good to go here, everybody.
Okay.
I don't like Christmas music.
Alright, great.
For shame.
Okay, Scrooge.
Okay, Scrooge.
No, literally, my family's nickname for me is Ebenezer.
Sir.
My family's nickname for me is Ebenezer because I don't like anything related to Christmas.
That's just
Except giving people
depressing.
gifts.
Ethan, you live a sad
So
life.
are we meeting in person? Because can we all bring like said hats and force them on Ethan?
Yes!
Yeah.
And you need to go
Only if you wish to die.
Oh, I'm gonna kill people over Santa!
Please.
I don't like Santa! Oh, I'm Ethan, I don't like Santa!
Wait, if we're meeting in person, wasn't that when we were gonna do like the big battle royale that Ethan was gonna run?
Yes.
Why are we talking about this on stream?
Wasn't that when we
I
were-
don't know why I made Ethan Italian in my complaint against him. I made Ethan an old Italian woman and it didn't come out of my head right.
How do you know I'm not?
This is true.
What? And people
We're very odd
really
place
watched
tonight
this.
as a group.
Okay, kids. Last time we checked, Tasha's wandering out of the darkness, carrying a pail and wearing a very fashionable fruit headdress. You're standing outside your inn. It's getting on towards sunset.
Wait, are we all outside the inn?
What's going on?
We
Presumably,
all just happened to converge on the inn at exactly the same time.
Not exactly the same time.
So, actually, just for future reference, you, woman, wizard, lady, flower woman.
Azalea?
Yes, Azalea. You and, I almost called my own character the wrong name. I'm sorry guys, it's been a little rough. Okay, so you and,
Francis.
thank you, went to the library. And you
Okay.
two were in the library. I don't know if we're still there. I'm saying, so, like, we would have gone over at probably about 1 o'clock. It's getting to be about 6 o'clock. I don't know if we would have headed back to the inn by now. Or
When
if
does
we
the
would
library close?
library doesn't really close.
End of the world.
That's
Pretty
the
much.
best library ever. Azalea will need to be pulled out.
Okay, so, I don't think Francis is going to go through with that, so you guys are still at the library.
They're never leaving.
Nope.
Alright, so, back at the inn.
Yes.
No, just
I'd
back at...
like to go into the inn.
Alright,
To whatever room we have.
Yeah, can we go up to the room and figure out what the
Then
heck is going
are we
on?
all like officially here now?
yeah, you're all here except Azalea and Francis.
I think we need to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I need a break.
Alright.
Do
So,
you?
I can go and find you a drink. That would be helpful.
Ven like closes her eyes like something is wrong with her vision for a second.
okay.
Are you blind now?
No, well I'm having hallucinations.
Oh, lovely. I'm
What
having
do you mean?
Wait, you're having what?
visions.
Oh, good. That's just
You want to
great.
go first, or should I?
You talk.
Alright, so are you guys inside at this point? Like,
Yeah.
inside your room?
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so
I
you...
think
So,
we think we're going up to the room.
yeah, okay, so you guys pass in, as you guys are kind of in, like, a youngish, you guess maybe 14-ish tabaxi kind of, like, scoots his way through you guys. The downstairs is crowded. There's a smell of cooking. There's a little girl from earlier. She's kind of running around, leaving dinner plates, putting out dinner plates for folks. It's crowded in here. starting to get crowded around dinner time. It smells amazing, so you guys head upstairs. You're back in the honeymoon suite, where you hear the sound of somebody cursing under their breath and the repeated twanging of the string.
Okay.
Sounds like Clover's having an issue with her instrument.
Felix is like, you know the shaking, like you know when like you've had a really powerful adrenaline rush, and then like as you're coming off of it, like you like shake uncontrollably.
Yeah.
That's what like Felix is doing.
You're
Okay.
describing an anxiety attack.
No.
No. I
No,
I understand the adrenaline thing. I understand that too.
It's like if you've ever like almost had like been in an accident and like you get shaky afterward, that's the adrenaline leaving your body.
Sometimes after this again goes back to when I played sports. I've definitely had this happen where it's like something super intense happens and like quiet right afterwards you start shaking because it's like your entire body is like.
Also, it's not leaving your body. Sorry, it's circulating through.
the bad humors are leaving your
The bad humors.
Get the leeches.
That was a very funny way to say that.
Krunk, get the leeches.
So Felix is shaking.
Run the leeches!
He's gonna be like, I think there is we weren't put in the desert by someone, by a god, or at least not one that I know of. I think it was so when we were with the minstrels and we were attacked, and there was that explosion, I passed out then, and I saw a creature. It was. Correct me if I'm getting this wrong, Andrew. It was the body of a woman, but with hooves, and with the head of a stag, and it had an axe. He, I don't know. It stabbed her male. The body was it had an axe, and it swung it at me, and that is when I became conscious again. In that time, but then today at the temple, I was praying for an answer as to why we were here, because we have all been mysteriously transported, and then it was I saw myself on top of a pyramid, a building, and like at the very top, and there was a bright the sun. I think it was a bright light in the sky that was shining directly at me, and I thought at first that it must be that the Amansul, the god of these people here, was contacting me, because he's the god of the sun. But then there was a laughter, and the sky was destroyed. It was the sun, the sky. It was torn to shreds, and then she was there with the axe, and she said something. I don't remember what, but she said something mocking, and was laughing. He's clearly extremely frightened.
Were you able to understand what she said?
I was. I just don't remember. The truth of it is, I don't actually remember what Andrew said she said, because it's been a week. Um,
It's on an old stream.
yes, I could go and try and locate that spot in the stream, but that would take some time.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a pyramid in the desert, and then the sky was destroyed. It was torn to ribbons and fell, and then she was there. It was like she just destroyed everything and was laughing.
And that was it?
Yes, then I woke up and I was on the ground with the people around me.
Was she talking to you when she said whatever she said?
Yes, I think.
Okay. So that's a recurring theme, and especially because you talk to the gods, something tells me that we should probably take note of that. Hopefully she does not have some sort of power over us, but
Do
let's assume the worst.
I talked to the priest and he had never heard of anything like it before. A stag and a woman? Well, what is it? Do any of you know?
Any of us know?
Make religion checks, make history checks, make folklore checks, make whatever kind of checks you think you deem would be appropriate.
Not gonna be enough.
Folklore. What folklore check fall under even?
Probably it'd be either. I think arguably it'd be local or history.
I have neither of those, so I'm going to pass.
Mine would be an old. I don't think that's enough to get anything.
What'd you get?
11.
Spooky.
Spooky, scary stagletons and shivers down your spine.
Azalea, did you roll anything?
I'm not there.
Oh, that's right. You're not there.
I got a
Sorry,
22.
you can ask me later.
Yes, you had
At the
I got a
library.
22 on knowledge local.
22 knowledge local. As into what area did you study in again?
Me?
Yes. Like
anything and everything when I wasn't working.
Okay, so I'm just trying. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out whether local would apply to this area or apply to the area you're from.
Well, it can also be a 21 knowledge history. Or a 21 knowledge religion.
21 knowledge religion actually might get you someplace.
Okay.
You're aware of this mythology. You don't know what it's called. You don't know in relation to what, but you have seen that design. You've seen that design before. You've seen the design of a stag-headed woman. You've seen it in the art of you've seen it in the art particularly of stereos. Very ancient stereosy art. Like, you know,
Okay.
it's an occasional recurring theme.
What kind of check would I have to make to try to, like, recall where I saw it?
Oh, yeah, that'd be included.
Be included? Okay.
Yeah,
So I don't know where I saw it from.
It would be something that you would probably see in, like, maybe a museum or an academic explanation, maybe in an illustrated tome of history or pottery style, perhaps.
Okay. I'm not gonna say any of that out loud, except that I have seen that stylized in old stereosy artwork. I do not know what it is, but we should check a museum or library.
Well, definitely nobody get an instant message to Azalea.
If only we had earrings.
Right?
Whatever it is, it does not seem friendly. When I was the first time I saw it, a few days ago, I I was in a hallway when I saw it, and there was at the end of the hallway there was light, but behind me there was this creature, and I turned around and I said hello and introduced myself as Felix, and then it swung its axe at me.
Hell of a greeting.
Hmm?
That's a hell of a greeting.
Yeah, and now it was mocking, and it was like it was all powerful in this vision I just saw.
My friend, I know you are just a child, but it must be made known to you. You did not pass out that day. You were dying. In such a context, I would say it is likely some sort of deity involved with death.
I see.
Research must be done, and research is my specialty. But with the knowledge that we have, that is what I would say.
Okay.
So this is interesting. We should probably keep an eye on you and make sure everything is okay. I'm a little bit worried about you, but we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it too much yet. Just keep us posted and let us know if anything else changes or happens to you, alright?
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course.
Cervena,
Yeah,
Yeah.
then what's happened with you?
do you wish to share of these hallucinations? I presume it's not related to any sort of intoxication.
No, I told you I don't drink.
Yet you said you needed one when you came in.
Okay,
Yes, I did.
unrelated. You just don't want
Shockingly,
one?
I shouldn't.
Okay.
Shockingly, when you're having hallucinations and creepy things, sometimes you get shaken. So I want to go find some sort of wizard or person to ask about why we might have, say, woken up in the desert. Andrew, you might have to fill things in here because I know my audio was sort of fuzzing in and out because
Sure.
my internet was dying.
Yeah.
But everyone pointed me towards this tent, and I went in, and first of all, it was pitch black, like the kind of pitch black you should not be getting in a tent outdoors. And then this woman just appeared with a ball, like a crystal ball, and she told me that my name smelled of flowers and several other things.
How do names smell?
I don't know. You don't speak Elvish, correct?
No?
Part of my
Particularly
name.
not ancient Elvish.
Yes, particularly not ancient Elvish like that anyone here would be able to, except possibly Azalea. Part of my name in ancient Elvish means foxglove. So that's where the whole flowers thing came from. And here's where the audio starts going out, but she said that something that I or possibly we were going to meet somebody tonight, that they would say two things, one that was very important, one that wasn't. And then she started going off about some city in the desert and the dead rising and some pink lady, but my audio didn't work at that point, so I might need to defer to Andrew at this point to understand what actually got said.
Yeah, if you this is haunting to the point that you would definitely remember it. There was almost a sort of a mantra she had going that you remember about the hunter's moon.
Oh, that wasn't my audio glitching repeatedly?
No, that was actually a mantra that she had going.
She said something about the hunter's moon a lot. anything else important that.
She mentioned a temple of some kind.
Anyway, then she mentioned a temple of some kind, and then she told me that I needed to, as payment for her services, carry a bucket and a lantern and wear this stupid thing on my head. Oh, sorry, that's Tasha laughing out then. And then she vanished. And when I say vanished, I mean everything went dark and she wasn't in the tent anymore, and neither was the table or the ball. I looked. I couldn't light a match or a candle. It was pitch black and I couldn't see, despite the fact I can usually see in the dark. And then I tried to leave the tent, and the floor went funny, and I fell through the floor. And then I woke up in the red light district carrying a bucket and a lantern with this stupid thing on my head. And since then, I'm having hallucinations of the world getting ripply and dark, and it's really freaking me out.
Also, apparently
Is that
freaked
a-
Noah out. Freaked Noah right out of the video call.
Is that a roughly accurate description, Andrew, just to check?
It's your words. It's your, it's your
trying to make
experience.
sure that I audio mess ups.
Yeah, no,
dying,
it's
that I didn't miss anything important there.
not that I can think of.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So yeah.
Are those the hallucinations, or did you have others while you were coming?
Oh,
out
well, before I woke up, I had a what was it? Shit. Hang on. Like a pyramid and two moons burning over my head when I was falling through the floor. Which pyramid would seem to connect with what Felix is seeing.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Can you describe the pyramid? Were you also in the desert as?
I don't know, Andrew.
Okay, so as I was trying to describe it is, what we never got to say is, you were kind of you were just sort of falling and falling and falling. You fell through the floor, you were tumbling, and you got to see, almost like the moon on fire in the sky. And then you woke up.
Then we'll pass that along.
Yeah.
Does that sound in any way similar to you, Felix? He's not here. Never mind. So this is all very disturbing and strange. I wonder why it's only you two. Nobody else has been having. I wonder why it's only you two. No one else is having any strange dreams that you're not telling anyone about, right? Anyone want to confess? Hearing no objections, I'm going to assume no. I definitely have no.
It's possible that if you had gone and talked to a wizard or prayed, that you would have had the same effect. It's possible that we only triggered it because we happened to be
questioning what's going on.
That's right. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Maybe I will actually go and ask at some point. That could be interesting. In the meantime, I think it's best if we obviously keep this to ourselves.
One more question, Andrew. Was the tent, when I woke up, was it where the tent had been?
No.
No, I woke up somewhere totally different?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's happened to you twice now. That's weird.
Thanks. That makes me feel so much better.
You're welcome. Wait, are you joking?
Then is gonna wander over to the window and pull a few bits of tinkering stuff out and start fiddling like she does whenever she's really nervous.
Alright, so she's gonna be fiddling.
Ben is very rattled. Ben is clearly rattled.
Yeah, you guys hear a on your door.
Amari's gonna grab her quarterstaff and go over. Who is it?
Clover.
My hand is on my gun.
It's Clover, just Clover. I locked myself out.
I'm gonna open it a little bit, make sure it's Clover. I'm trying to do so quickly so it doesn't look like I'm being cagey.
Yeah, no, it's Clover, and you can see that she broken 2 strings on her mandolin.
That's unlucky.
Or lute, and she's coming in to try and fix it.
What happened?
Oh, they just snapped.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's alright.
When she's not paying attention, I'm gonna mouth to the guys do we tell her?
Ben is not looking.
Then just kind of like gives a slight shake. No.
Cool.
She takes the strings and heads back downstairs.
Okay. Then you're okay that we... Are we agreed that we're not going to tell Clover what's going on yet?
What? If we end up going somewhere with her, we might need to enlighten her, but
Yes,
I
but for
have a
now.
feeling this is attached to that forgotten city somehow, out in the desert.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
I suspect there's undead there, based on the whole Walking Dead, Rising Dead thing.
Hey
What
guys, what did I miss?
Not
What's
really.
the last thing you
anything.
heard?
You were talking actually about the Rising Dead. That you were talking about your vision, and
Yeah.
then something about a hunter's moon, and that was the last I
Yeah,
heard.
so I got something about the Hunter's Moon. I also saw a pyramid. And I effectively fell through the floor after the woman vanished into thin air. Fell for quite a while, saw a pyramid and a moon burning, and then woke up with a bucket and a lantern and a stupid headdress in a totally different part of the town.
Some people call it stupid. I think it's majestic.
What was the pyramid? What was it like?
It's a good question. I don't remember. There's an answer. There is an answer to how I described it. It's just not coming to me off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
The only stuff I have is from the stuff you sent me in text message, which was you saw a pyramid.
Okay, then that's all it is.
Okay, so what do we do now?
From below, you hear the sounds of music start again.
Guys?
Don't know.
Okay,
I don't like this.
I don't like it either. Should we... Maybe we should leave it and give it a rest for a bit. I personally am sort of interested in going back to either the temple or going to whatever wizard you found and asking a few more questions and seeing if I see any
I'm
other part
honestly
of the
not
puzzle.
convinced you're going to find her again.
Me either, especially because of you vanishing and waking up someplace else. I mean, okay, I'm going out on a limb here, but did anyone have something like that when they first woke up in the desert? You know, you are in a tent with some very old tabaxi telling you some sort of a story, and then they vanish, and that's what happened when you woke up?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so something tells me she's probably like that, but maybe if we go back to the Temple of Amansul and we each ask, perhaps we'll each get a different part of the puzzle.
I'm not going back.
I
Well,
don't
no,
want to
you've
go back.
No, you two have already gone. I think you've gotten whatever information you're going to get. But I mean, like me and Azelia, and Then and Francis. I think if we went, maybe we would find out some more information, or just get a couple more clues. But I don't know that we need to worry about it right now.
Personally, I find the very concept of gods ridiculous.
I wouldn't say that too loudly, especially since it seems that something, whether it's a god or some other sort of supernatural power, has definitely got a hold on us. We don't want to piss whoever that is off any more than we already have.
I have no intentions of pissing them off. I just also have no reason to believe that they exist.
That's fair. Just be careful what you say in case they decide to exact some sort of revenge on you for disrespecting them, whatever they might be, gods or no. Anyway, I think we should think about approaching the temple or what have you, or finding some answers some other way at some point. But for now, let's just try and relax and...
Before we leave town, somebody remind me to buy flour.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you guys are here, all of a sudden you hear the music from downstairs stop. Suddenly, in the middle of a chord progression, if they even used those back then, sort of in the sort
So
of
sad.
sort of point just ding 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 ding.
Please tell me it didn't stop on a predominant.
Oh, it's hanging there.
Oh, that's ungodly.
Meh.
Maybe
Unless it was a deceptive cadence, in which case it's okay.
that's also fair.
Nerds.
Yes.
I'd
Yes.
take AP. Okay, I guess I didn't have to, but that's
Andrew, by the way, are you on Roll20?
I'm bouncing back and forth.
Thank you. I was actually trying to make something as I was nervously tinkering, so.
Okay. Can you actually message me a little bit more about how you plan on having it work?
I might actually have to research how they work then, but.
Good deal. Cause I'm just trying to envision it medieval.
Mm-hmm. Let me take a look and read up,
Yeah.
and then I'll let you know.
Andrew,
Yeah.
from what I know, is Amansul associated with a lion in symbolism?
Not on Mansul, but you would know that there's probably a conversation you had, but you'd know that Amansul, it is believed that Amansul can have no visual representation. Amansul is so holy that he is not comprehensible to a mortal, so he must be intercessed with through 3 different intercessors, and one of those intercessors is the sort of the patron, the patron demigod of this city. The patron demigod of Tel Marna is Amashtep, who is associated with the lion.
Okay. Got it.
I'm going to go down and investigate the sudden halt in the music. Then, do you want to come? Just get, I don't know, human contact that's not
No,
demons.
not right now.
Do you want me to bring you a, I don't know, tea or something?
Coffee, if you have it. Actually, scratch that. I don't think I need caffeine right now.
Okay,
I'm okay. Thank you.
I'll be downstairs if anyone needs me.
Alright.
I
So
fall down the stairs.
you fall down the stairs.
No.
Amari walks out of the room. Thump, 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 thump. Okay, so it's actually
Distant thud.
oh my gosh. Distant thud. Oh, that just reminded me of a funny thing I saw on Reddit, but
Okay.
no, okay, so this is just a funny thing I saw. It was out of the park baseball, the baseball simulator. Sometimes it has like randomly generated injuries that take place out of game. So there was this guy who was talking about like he was like the general manager of the Mets, and he signed Mike Trout. It was like 3 weeks later, Mike Trout had a career-ending injury falling down the stairs. So it's like breaking news: Trout throws himself downstairs rather than play for Mets.
I mean, yeah.
Nobody else cares about that joke. I'm so sorry. It was just hysterical to me, and it just popped back in my head. Thank you. I meant everybody other than you, dear.
Okay, move on.
So Amari, once your eyes have stopped spinning around your head, you look. So you look around and you see that standing sort of by the shadow of the front door, there is this huge knoll. As a matter of fact, the same knoll you saw at the temple, the knoll with the gold bracers, is leaning down and talking to the manager of the establishment, to the innkeep.
Where?
They're just outside the doorway, like right where Clover was, and she had kind of like that was the reason she like stopped playing, kind of moved back.
Is anyone else near the doorway?
I mean, there's a few patrons sitting at tables, but everybody's kind of like making that kind of effort to like not look at the weird kind of thing that's going on in the restaurant.
Stuko's with me. Because Stuko's always with me. I'm going to plop down, like, within earshot of the doorway, like, and, like, just play with Stuko in my lap and, like, make it look like I'm not paying, like,
Sure.
like, I'm going to pay her, like, him a little bit of attention, but I'm listening in the back of my head.
Sure, make a perception check.
That's fun. 9.
Okay, so you can't hear anything, but you do specifically hear the Snoll say, the bigger one say, "Come then. Surely you must know some good men."
Can I scoot it, leave it closer?
At that point,
Just, like, casually, like, I'm gonna, like, if I have, I probably have, like, a feather in somewhere in my packing kit, so I'll pop it out and, like, I'll pretend to, like, chase Stuko with it, so I can get, like, scooch a little closer.
okay.
And, like, grab, like,
Alright,
Stuko is going to run away from the feather, because Stuko doesn't like being tickled, but I'll, like, scoop him up, like, as he's running past the doorway, and, like, kind of...
okay, so as you do this, the bigger Knoll kind of leans over and goes, "Madam, can I help you?"
Which madam, me?
Yes.
Oh,
Do you
No.
have some interest in our conversation?
no, I'm playing with my cat.
Very
You want to
well.
play with him? You're welcome to. Yeah, take the feather. He likes it.
Oh, here's this giant nose like holding this one.
Bodily shove the feather into his head.
He's like,
Look, this is where he's ticklish. Go on,
and to your surprise, he just starts doing it like, "Here, kitty, kitty." So, what the hell am I doing? like after a minute, like the cat comes, like he like as he's like about to like go out and pet the cat, he's like, "What the hell am I doing?" He like stands up.
Why was your conversation something interesting?
I'm afraid I am not at liberty to comment, madam.
Okay.
He takes a minute, kind of looks you up and down, and he goes, "Tell me, have you traveled
Probably,
far?
What?
Have you traveled far?"
Do I? Kind of, yeah. Why?
Are you aware of the local people for hire?
It depends on what you're trying to hire for. The answer is no, regardless, but maybe I can pretend like I do.
Never mind.
If you mean like, why? Do you need something?
It is not I, but my master who is in need of something.
Perhaps I can help you out. I'm sort of, skilled at things of interest. And I know some people who are interesting.
No, sorry.
The Knoll's gonna go.
No, I know, and it hurts.
Madam, I am not. It's been good to meet you, and you're
You're not what?
I'm not interested, madam. Thank you.
You seem... Well, let's put it this way. You definitely look like you need some help. This is the second time you've been around here. Somebody else came around looking, practically begging, I don't know, whoever was guarding our room the other day for some help. And my guess is, based on your look and the fact that he was... I don't remember. Was this the same person? No.
Yeah, no, nope. This is the same guy from the temple. This is the same guy that you guys saw come into the bar. Who came into the guard bar.
Time. But you were kind of, a bit obvious, saying that your lady needed some help, or your master. I don't really know which one is which. But that was, 2 days ago? And you still haven't found something? And all of your requests have gotten significantly more desperate every time. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you're having a bit of trouble. So maybe you should, it's completely up to you. Maybe your master just doesn't mind being disappointed. continuously. But you might try
That's
throwing some.
Ah.
But you might, you could, float the information to me, and I can tell you whether I can handle it or not. I'm pretty honest. So, if it's something that is completely outside of my wheelhouse, I will do my best to. I'll give you a trade. I'll do my best to help you find someone. I do know some people who have been in this city before. I have not been. But if I cannot help you, then perhaps they would know some people who can. Deal?
Were you not my better?
Um,
Very well,
Why not my your better? What do you mean? Am I?
madam. He nods deeply. Almost a bow, but not quite.
Don't do that. Gosh.
Very
Do
well.
I look like I want to be recognized out here? Goodness. There's
I-
probably some giant posse coming up from the jungle as we're talking, trying to find me. Stop.
A jungle posse? This.
Continue.
Very well. Take me to your leader, your people. Take me to these people of yours.
Tell me what's going on first. Tell me what you're looking for. That was the deal.
I am
If I can't
looking.
help you, then I will tell them.
I am looking for a party of adventurers to take care of an errand.
What is the nature of the errand? You don't have to tell me the details, but what type of errand are you looking for us to complete?
The truth is, I don't know if it is search and recovery or a rescue
Interesting.
yet.
What's the site?
The hills north of town. Not north. Really, a bit north. It's more. Well, it's honestly. Hold on. My map.
We're talking back towards the Flint encampments?
Shh. South of town. Sorry about that. I entirely got my directions mixed up.
How could you?
Beyond the river or no?
Yes,
Don't
yes,
worry, you were just
beyond the
thinking in
river.
Gabrielle directions.
You're gonna die. The minute Gabrielle is back as
Yeah,
you're gonna die.
just look.
Everybody else who ever made Gabrielle Miles jokes, Ethan.
Savannah wakes up Savannah wakes up and tries to put on her pants. One leg goes flying off through the window.
Savannah falls asleep. The rock falls out of the sky and kills her.
The entire inn burns down around Savannah while she dozes peacefully.
And then Savannah died. And then her next character died. Suddenly. Sins of the fathers.
A screaming lady in armor showed up and threw her off a pyramid, yelling, "Homewrecker!"
Alan rises from the dead and stabs you in the face.
Oh no, not death by Ellison.
No, not death by Ellison. Oh, my stars.
That's rough, buddy.
It's not. It doesn't involve killing you. It's just her telling her backstory over and over and over again.
Oh.
Calm thyself.
And on to your wedding day. Oh, this is bad. We shouldn't do this on the internet.
Hey, we didn't mention who was involved. We just said the character.
We are horrible, Tasha? Excuse me.
Ethan is perfect. Get your facts straight.
I wasn't saying that I was perfect. I was just saying that we weren't all involved in that current situation.
Okay, we're all terrible in different ways.
Noah, what are you playing with?
It appears to be a rapier.
Indeed it is. I forgot I was on camera.
Now we're gonna get like flagged for being overly violent.
Guys, remember,
Thanks,
we already marked that we're not
Game
appropriate for
decapitate
children.
People doesn't make us violent enough.
No, but we didn't show any weapons. Now we've shown weapons. Now we're gonna get in trouble.
I sincerely doubt that's how it works.
Oh no, I had a fencing rapier in my hand in the video.
It's basically a car antenna.
They're coming for our foils, boys.
It's basically a car antenna?
This is not basically a
even
car
something.
antenna.
You could stab somebody
Yeah.
with a car antenna.
Alright. Sorry, so okay, well did I ask a question? Yeah, so
Yes.
stop on the other side of the river. How many people would you be looking for in this party?
1 or 2 or so.
You're going to have to deal with more than that.
No, I mean, we're looking for 1 or 2 people that side of the river.
I understand that. Oh, that makes more sense. That's helpful. What do you mean 1 or 2? Why would it be more than 1?
Because
Hold the details until we'll keep that in mind. I'll bring you to meet the rest of the group momentarily. How many? What I was asking is how many people do you need in the party? Are you expecting?
as many as it takes.
Okay, that's only
So
mildly vague.
specific.
Would you be willing to pay? I'm assuming this is for pay.
Oh
I don't exactly
yes.
offer my services for free. Okay, good. So, would you be willing to pay? Okay, so this Felix, fancy. Ignore all this. You don't know these people. That one, that one, that one, that one. Wait, no, I have to start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7. And a cat, and that cat and a fox. You don't have to pay the cat and the fox.
Thanks for remembering, Todd.
Todd the meeping
I may have
fox.
forgotten a person, but I remembered Todd.
That's what matters.
Todd the meeping fox.
You would have 7 people at your disposal. Possibly only 6. It depends on what the 7th says. She's sort of independent.
Depends on if I can count.
7 is a few more than we had expected, but I think my master would make arrangements. He pulls out. He very blatantly pulls out a heavy bag. The contents of this bag are yours.
Okay. How much is it?
After the task is done. And only after. And you will receive far greater awards than this.
We may want a safety deposit, as we're kind of doing this on the fly.
Business, madam, business.
This is business. You know, if I decide that I want to sell my talents and the talents of my group to someone else, I'm going to exact the same sort of expectation. The liability thing. Well, I don't want to die.
Alright, so be it. Take me to your people.
Cool. Why don't you take a seat over here? I'll call them down. Some of them are out doing their own business, but I'll grab who I have here. Take a seat, any seat. I know what you look like. You're kind of hot a mess.
He's not. He's gonna stand outside the door with his arms crossed.
Okay, suit yourself. I'm going to walk very regally, like, out of his eyesight, and then just be like, like busted up.
Whoa!
I got us money. Who's here? Okay, you people are here. Let's go. Come. Let's meet with the person. We're going. They have a proposition for us, and it could involve a whole lot of money. And I did get a safety deposit so that if we die, we'll still have some money. Or basically, we get some money now so that it's sort of insurance. No, that's not how that works. I don't know. We're getting paid some now, which
You
is
just
cool.
took a job on behalf of all of us without checking with any of us.
This is me checking with you. I didn't sign any contracts. I basically just made the proposal. Which, honestly, he made me a proposal. I was pretty cool. You should have seen it. Come.
So somebody proposed to you.
I mean, that would be interesting. Basically,
We are in the honeymoon suite.
Okay, the rundown. The giant knoll that was here a couple days ago saying, you know, oh, he desperately needs help or something. He came back, so I asked him what was going on, and he is willing to pay us to basically go on a search and rescue mission.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes.
Anyone willing to come and talk to him with me?
I guess I would talk to him.
I can come, I suppose.
That would be helpful. Then you don't feel like you have to come. I told him that not everyone is here.
I'll come.
Okay. Alright, so it's everybody here. I guess we can fill in the others at some point. I don't know where they are. Okay, I'm going to lead the group downstairs to Mr. Giant Biceps or whatever he is.
I'm gonna greet him in Knoll again.
He bows
yes.
to you.
You remember this guy.
Also, correct me
Yes.
if I'm wrong, but we're not supposed to leave the city, right? Before we give our statement.
Yes.
Kind of forgot that part.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Are you bringing it up in game or out of game?
Both. Sorry, I should have spoken in accent.
That's fine. I think we can work that out. High friends in high places.
Hmm.
Is everybody else? Are you frozen? What is happening here?
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
working fine.
The audio kept going, but the video frozen. That was interesting.
Okay, it was you did something similar when you were running
Okay.
up the stairs.
So, and I did not catch your name. Who are you? Sorry.
My name is Afris.
With what?
Afris.
Like Afro, but with an IS for out of game
No.
purposes.
APHRAS. Afris.
Afras. And what would your title be? Like general or something, or just Afras?
No. Just Afris.
Okay. Well, this is the crew. I'm assuming this is the location you feel the most secure.
If you don't mind, I'd like to walk.
Of course.
Walk with me. So just as you
If we
get,
stop by the library, we can pick up the other two.
just as you are saying that, you hear coming around the corner. You hear, my mother used to say, "There's nothing quite as exciting as a big dinner coming up right around the corner." And you hear a smaller voice agreeing and saying, "Oh, she's right there."
Yeah, dinner is. I love dinner. Dinner is fantastic. And supper and second breakfast is probably my favorite, though.
Ah, there they are. Come. Dinner.
Hello?
Dinner is a capital thing. And now we might have some money to get a nice one. So,
Wait, are we having dinner now? Because I'd love dinner now.
in a minute, we have to go on a walk briefly. Because we are meeting with this man. This is
Good
Afras.
evening.
He works for... She's gonna kind of like allow him to fill in the blank.
My name is Afris, madam.
Yes, and you work for a person.
I work for my master.
Hello.
Hello.
Azalea will stick her hand straight up in the air to shake his hand and be like, "I'm Azalea."
He will have to kneel to shake your hand comfortably.
How many azaleas does this man?
Azalea, how tall are you?
Not tall. I didn't write it down either. Slightly shorter than average hobbit height, but she wears heels.
So call you 4 foot something?
We'll call you 4 foot. So
Maybe.
Wait, as a
Average
halfling?
hobbit height-
that's pretty tall for a
hobbit height
halfling.
is
A
lower.
halfling is between 2'8" and 3'6".
Oh,
Yeah, no,
so
okay.
like 3 azaleas. stacked on top of
This
each other.
like Afris is like a solid 7'3".
So at least
almost
2 or 3
three of her.
azaleas.
I
2
mean,
or 3.
and Afris is like 7'3" and ripped. Like, he's an intimidating person.
Grape stream.
What?
Grape stream.
Fair point. Okay.
So, Afras is in a search of someone who would be willing to go on a search and rescue mission for him. He is willing to pay somewhat handsomely, and he is willing to also put down a sort of security deposit for us. A sort of liability.
I
Payment.
made no guarantees of a security deposit.
It would be in your best interest, but I appreciate your willingness at least to consider it. So, Afras If you don't mind giving us the full details.
Alright, very well. As I continue to walk. My master is a man of some renown. His wife, significantly more than that. You see, they have one child, a son, and he is
Wild.
yes, wild, foolhardy. He his Look at this way, the tradings of his family were put in danger by some ruffians in the desert. And he went to go investigate, without permission, after he knocked out one of my house slaves with a flower pot. I am very
That seems
angry.
kind of impressive.
I am very angry. My master is very worried.
Is the slave okay?
He will be fine. Thank you.
Is the slave built like you? Because I feel like it'd be kind of impressive if he was able to knock him out with just a flower pot.
It was dropped off a second-story balcony.
Okay. Also, wait, if you're like 7 foot, that wouldn't be much of a drop.
Not
Just like 3
all.
feet.
He is a younger beast of my kind.
I see. That's kind of rude.
Maybe just let the man talk.
So I'm assuming, how long ago did he disappear?
2.5 days he disappeared. The morning when I went to the guard.
Is this outside of his character? I mean, a wild child. I mean, I've disappeared for a week at a time and didn't really cause much of a stir. I came back, obviously, but
Considering that another of the kitchen slaves saw him wielding his father's sword, yelling and swearing that he was going to bring destruction on the houses of those who would dare to oppose his family, who would dare to steal their property, I can only conclude that he has run off into the desert to get himself killed,
Wasn't.
if he isn't already.
I can see why that's a bit concerning. Do you
Indeed.
know anything? Do you know anything about whoever he was off chasing? Are they from the desert? Do we have any sort of clues as to who they would be?
Bandits. There are many bandit tribes. There's one that hangs out by the old tombs.
Okay. So, basically, the mission at this point is go fight off some bandit tribes, possibly outside the old tombs. Make sure he's not dead. Bring him back if he is not, or if he is, of course.
That
Where are
would,
the old tombs?
What'd you say?
Where are the old tombs?
if you cross the river at the first bridge, then follow the faint path between the two white rocks, that'll take you the way to the old tomb.
Is there a time limit on this? Because at the moment, we can't leave the city.
For what reason?
We need to give a statement about a murder.
Trust me. My mistress and master will see to it. If you are successful.
Okay.
He is going to take down the bag. He's going to open it and show you all the gold. He's going to take in with the paw, rustle it through, show you that it goes all the way down. Pull the drawstring back up.
I've been around gold a lot. Is this like visually? Does it definitely look like it's actual gold?
Visually, yes, it does.
You don't mind if I, hold one. I promise I'll give it back, just to be sure. I don't know.
He will open the bag and say, "Pick one, anyone."
I'll take it out.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Oh, it's real.
Alright.
It's real. You flip it over. There's a picture of the pharaoh on one side. There's a picture of a lion on the
That
other.
much around with you.
It helps when attracting business.
It's a sales pitch. I'm gonna flip it back to him.
Sure, it also helps to attract pickpockets.
Trust
Right?
me, they
I
don't
mean, you could
bother.
probably knock out the pickpockets at the same time. It's pretty heavy.
They don't bother.
Yeah, he's a bit intimidating.
He's going to drop it back in. My master and mistress will be most pleased.
Exactly who are your master and mistress?
Madam, I am the master domo, the major domo of House Telev.
I don't know who that is.
You would definitely know who Telev. You would definitely know. You don't necessarily. You know who the Televs are. The Televs are. You know that the wife is a very powerful politician, and the husband is a very successful merchant.
Would anyone else have any idea?
Probably not.
Okay.
Unless you lived in
No, I
this
really
room.
didn't expect living in the desert to have given me this much useful information in the game.
If you'd been here before, you'd know this. The Televs, they run pottery is the game.
Loves the name. Pottery's the game.
Yes. Says that on hieroglyphs on their back and front doors.
Classic.
The Televs are rich. That doesn't mean they have taste. So, are you in?
If you could give us a moment. Just
Take all
discuss.
the moments you need. And with that,
Just because I'm paranoid. Can I make a sense motive check?
absolutely. And while you're deliberating, I need to use the bathroom really quick.
Well, wait, and can
No.
you roll first?
No, I can't.
That's not horrible. And that's what it is. Wisdom base. That's nice. 13.
13, okay.
I missed my skills for Casita.
Anything with a 13?
Anything with the 13? Dude is hard to read. The dude is hard to read. He is straight-faced. He is straight talk. He's, to the best of your knowledge, he being straight up with you.
I have to give us a moment.
Very well.
I'm gonna go outside his earshot. So, what do you guys think?
How dangerous do you guys think this would actually be?
Knowing us. And our luck.
I mean,
Because, I don't know about you guys, but, I'm not super, super confident in my abilities to fight things. She's gonna make, really awkward pretending to fight something motions, but it looks like she has no idea what she's talking about.
well, I mean, you're a wizard, right?
Yeah, but I'm still not, I'm new at it, and...
Azalea, if it is any comfort
Yeah.
to you, This last month has been the first time I've been out of my lab in 40 years. I am not any more experienced in my craft of adventuring than you would be.
Then, Mir, I'm not really sure why that would be comforting.
I'm a tinkerer. This is so out of my depth.
Yeah, like why are we doing this? And is
Because we
this
can make a
actually a
lot
good
of
idea?
money.
Because we could make a whole lot of money, and it might bias
The
into.
dead can't
Yeah,
spend
but money
anything.
isn't everything. There's family and friends
Right.
and books
Pointedly,
and
awkwardly not looking at my brother when you say family.
Okay, but I mean, the money could be helpful. I mean, it might actually help us find someone who would know something about how we got here. It could also help us get back to our homes.
Yeah, the last time we tried to find out how we got here, we had hallucinations and visions.
So also heads up, I don't know what Azalea found yet, but that was one of the things Azalea wanted to look up while she was at the library. But Andrew and I have not yet talked to figure out what she found out, if anything, at the library. So
That's fair. I don't know. It could be helpful. It might also be useful to buy us passage back to wherever each of us is from. I mean, I'm guessing none
Are
of
we
us is
splitting
really.
up after this?
Whenever, I'm not saying after this, just whenever we decide that we're going home. I mean, I'm assuming we're not planning on staying in Jobba for the rest of our lives.
Speak
I
for
kind
yourself, I live here.
too.
What'd you say, Azalea?
Oh, she said I'd kind of prefer not to.
I might not like it, but this is technically my home.
I think we have bigger things than our desires that are directing what we're going to be doing, given the
What are you talking
experiences
about?
we've had.
What,
We
what
all
Okay,
we all
some of
woke
us
up in the
had creepy
desert.
visions. We'll tell you about it when
Well-
we're back upstairs.
wait, what?
Not something that we necessarily want to talk about near after us.
Okay.
You
It's
missed
been
our earlier
Are you
chat.
guys okay?
No.
Can I do anything? Do you need anything? Or like
I appreciate
don't
the
know.
offer, but honestly, I don't know what would make this okay.
I
Okay,
think
I can't even drink anymore to try and get rid of it without going down an obsessive spiral. Damn it!
oh,
right now, I think we need to try and just, whether we do this or not, I think we need to make a decision. We can figure out the other pieces, but I will say I don't think we're going to get any more answers unless we go actively searching for answers. I think whatever is happening here is not going to give up those answers easily. I think
I
we're
think
going
the
to either have.
answers are in the city. The one in the desert.
the lost city?
That would be my guess.
Another thing Azalea was researching, but I cannot say if she found anything.
That could also be true.
I think that there's clearly something more going on than many of us can know or realize.
Well,
And
there's always
given that
something
all of
going
us,
on.
given that all of us were thrown into this together, and we have
I mean,
been forced to work together so far, it seems as though there's enough going on that we need to find out together, and to do so, it usually helps to have resources and friends. So if we do work for this man, we will have his master and their son, who we will have contacts with, as well as having more gold to be able to do things with. And obviously, if it was something he did not think we could handle having seen us, he would not be hiring us.
what is he really basing his idea of what we can do off of, though?
Desperation, at least in some parts.
And in
Also,
these cases, the people hiring often don't give a damn if you survive or not.
you
Only if you get the
That's
job done.
really uncomfortable.
talked a jackalware to sleep. I'm not worried about any bandits we come across.
You know, I don't. That was probably just a one-time thing. I've never really done that before.
Gabrielle, somewhere in her head, is going, "Oh God, that was a one-time thing."
Azalea's
Like
just very
Jack-O-Ware.
confident in any abilities she has.
Wait, what are you doing?
I think this is our best bet to get any sort of high power information, especially because if we have, depending on how much we found out at the library, here's the other advantage that we have with getting on this guy's good side. Okay, the thing is, they probably, being from this area, they probably know a whole lot about the Lost City, or even if they don't, have you seen how big this guy is? If there's more like him, you can probably get an armed guard to escort us to the Forbidden City or whatever it's called, and probably have some more success there. That's
On
just
the
an
other
idea.
hand, are we just
Also,
forgetting that
camels.
someone was following us earlier?
What'd you say?
Someone was following us earlier.
Also, somebody else that we could leverage to investigate whoever that is.
What if it's them?
Why would someone be following?
It's a really good question.
I'm very confused about that also, I'm not going to lie.
Was it
I'm
not?
sure it's nothing.
Was it not this man's mistress that sent them following us?
Pretty sure, yeah.
They must want us specifically.
That weirds me out.
We can always
That
ask.
doesn't make any sense.
We can always ask. We have him here. We sort of have we have the negotiating advantage. It has been, like I said, he's kind of desperate. That's how I ended up getting the conversation in general.
Is he
He's been
desperate
asking-
or is he acting desperate?
And that's what we're going to have to judge for ourselves.
Wait, you guys are so suspicious.
Sorry, getting kidnapped does that to you.
I see no
I
reason
mean,
why there would be some kind of a conspiracy to harm us.
I don't know either.
Maybe they know something we don't about whatever's going on. But I don't think that running away from it is going to help us any. If anything, that just makes us, that forces us to be even more on our guards, because then we've now interacted with them. They know a little bit more about us. What's it going to do if we just walk away? What are they going to try next?
Might I
we were under-
remind you, not all of us are as safe from attempts on our lives as some of you may be. And I'm going to pull out the charm that I picked up from when those people came to try to kill me.
Wait,
And
what?
I'm going.
Wait.
So,
when did people try to kill you?
When we got attacked in the desert.
when we got attacked in the desert,
Oh.
there was
That
one
was
of
a
the
night
one
out.
of yeah. So that night we were attacked in the desert. One of them
Oh,
came for my life with the statement, Thenmir Arda, remember, their blood is on your hands.
When did
So
he
what-
say that?
Right before he died.
Ichi.
that's really disturbing.
It
On
is.
many
Trying to kill you.
I also spoke to one of the priests, Amari, Felix, you're aware of this. I spoke to one of the priests that we saw at the temple. And this symbol is the symbol of a cult that worships the Empress that was slain.
Interesting.
The Empress that was slain in connection with the city?
Not in connection with this city. They, Andrew, they would know who Celia is, right?
Oh yeah, it'd be.
You're muted.
They,
Oh, sorry about that.
um,
Okay.
You
Uh,
muted.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't realize that you'd unmuted. It seemed like you were still talking.
Yeah, like, not knowing Celia would be like not knowing who Thomas Jefferson is.
Who's
Who's
Thomas
that?
Jefferson?
In our world.
So, I don't want to step on your toes here and try to explain who Celia is.
Yeah, no, Celia, you guys would all know, she was sort of like, she considered to be the last true empress of Jalbar. She died after I think I told you. We talked about this, like she died after 4 hours of combat with Lord Varian.
Mm-hmm.
Their duel was very famous. After he killed her, he tied her and tied her up and drug her corpse through the streets of her capital, which was Telmarna. And then they buried her in. Then they said, I don't know. They said, some people say they burned her and dumped her in the canal. That's what Varian's history books say. The Jalbari history books say that her body disappeared.
Yes. So apparently, my life is desired by those members of the cult of Celia.
Any idea why?
Many.
Care to share?
In a more private setting, yes.
And
Okay.
what's the relation to the current mission or proposition?
We have no way of knowing who is a member of the cult of Celia and who is not.
Again,
We also have no way of knowing whether or not I'm the only target of the cult of Celia that is standing among us.
okay. Cult of Celia, also information that we can gain from being on the right side.
I would
Like
not
what-
mention the cult of Celia to anyone we do not trust.
Okay, well, we're not going to find anything. That's fine, but in our current state of whatever, of not doing anything, we're not going to find out anything. If we don't want to do that's one thing, but we need a plan of what we're going to do instead then. We're kind of just sitting here.
Why don't we just take a vote?
Okay.
Personally, I would say we can do the job, but be very careful what we do.
I would agree with that.
I also agree.
I can make that work.
And Azalea, if your qualm is that you are not experienced enough, do remember not every member of an adventuring party has to be able to kill.
I wouldn't ever want to kill anybody anyway. That just sounds so terrible.
You can always
It's an
just try
expression.
talking them to sleep again.
I mean, I guess if all of you guys want to go, I'll come. I don't know. It sounds dangerous.
Who knows? Maybe our luck will miraculously somehow turn around and we'll find the guy sitting there having tea.
That
Doubtful,
would be
but we can.
convenient.
That'd be kind of nice.
Would be, wouldn't it?
Francis? Thoughts?
I mean, not all people have to be terrible.
It's true.
Francis?
I'll come. I'm in. Not gonna let you guys wander off into some unknown danger without me.
What will we do without your mother's advice?
Of course.
Probably be more successful than me.
Okay.
that wasn't meant to be sassy. That was not. Charisma.
Ma!
Yay!
Francis gives a deep life-evaluating stare at the bottom of the door.
Francis?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Amari,
Yeah,
care to take our answer to him?
sure. Thanks, guys.
And I think we might want to go to a private place and finish up our discussions.
I agree.
And I still need to buy flour. Keep forgetting.
Flour as in like baking flour or
Yes, flowers and baking flour.
okay.
My sister has ideas come into her head, and
Are you gonna bake things?
No, I'm going to blow things up.
that
Oh.
would be one of those ideas.
Could we bake something too? Do you think you'll have any left?
She doesn't own a pastry shop.
Ooh, what could we bake? Maybe we could make like
What kind of shady character would own a pastry
or
shop?
maybe pancakes? No, we can make. Azalea's just starting to list foods that she thinks would be fun to make.
Tell you what,
Mari's gonna
Azalea,
excuse
maybe we get
herself.
you some flour and you can bake, and we get me flour so I can blow stuff up in a pinch.
I like pancakes. Francis will finish.
Okay, I'll make pancakes. I'd love to make some pancakes before we leave.
Alright, so Amari, you're taking your decision back to Afris?
Yeah.
Yes.
Arthur, so
Yes,
we've
my
come to
dear.
the decision. I think we're going to take you up on your offer. I would thus like to discuss the possibility of a security payment, of a security deposit.
All right. What did you have in mind?
At least 5%, if not 10. This would also help us in purchasing any extra supplies that we might need, such as, rescue materials, extra medical supplies, rope, grappling hooks, the like.
Very
You
well.
understand.
For this, I will give you 50 gold pieces. And this. He's going to reach to his pinky. He's going to pull off the signet ring. You will keep this on a chain around your neck. You will present it to any guard who challenges you. And you will return this to my hand, and my hand alone, or you get no payment. Do you understand me?
Understood. Clearly, perfectly.
Indeed,
That's the word that I
madam.
was looking for. Perfectly. Thank you.
Right, so he's going to give you the 50 gold, and he's going to give you a, what looks like a lapis lazuli signet ring.
Thank you.
Now we can
Figured.
do some enchanting.
Where do we find him when we're done with the job? Can you maybe ask that?
Wait, what?
I will ask him that.
What are you asking?
Where do we find you when we've completed the job?
Do you see the minaret? He'll point at the temple. The minarets around the ziggurat.
Mm-hmm.
If you go from the tallest of the spires, if you go due I've stroked it out here, sorry.
Take your time.
Due west. Due west
Okay.
from the top of the ziggurat. There you will find a great house with lapis doors. Inquire for me within.
Very well. Thank you.
Anytime.
We can go back to the group. Shall we reconvene upstairs? We have
Sure.
stuff to talk about. Discussion things. Very professional, cool things.
Alright. With a deep bow, Aphros is going to disappear back into the twilight. It was good to meet all of you. Is there any...
You too. Have a nice night.
Yes. He will bow. He has to actually go down on his knees to bow to you. Indeed.
I'm gonna give Ven a really quick look. Like, do you want to ask him now?
What am I?
Following.
No. Why would I ask him if they were following us?
Oh! He turns as he's leaving. Is there anything that I should call you by?
Cue the bit where we have to find a group name.
We already had one, wasn't it?
No.
It was like, what was it?
Something
It was
with flowers.
Felix and
Yeah, it
Felix in the
was-
Flower Patch or something like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't fit in a couple of people in the group. That leaves Francis and Amari out.
What did you say?
If we call ourselves Felix and the Flower Patch, then we're missing Francis and Amari in that name.
But we do include Clover.
Yes, you do.
We should call ourselves the Forgotten.
I like it.
Why?
Forgotten Flowers.
Yes.
Because soul pain.
We are The Forgotten.
No, we should call ourselves the Forgotten because we were literally just dropped in the middle of the desert and left to our own devices.
The Forgetted.
No, it makes sense. I'm just making fun of it because I can. Because it just feels really emo. But I like that. I'm always going to take that suggestion. You can call us the Forgotten.
Indeed.
Just
No,
don't forget about us.
No.
Folks. That's
no,
kind of unfortunate.
he doesn't laugh. Aphros is far too unflappable for that.
He's
Very
laughing at
well.
me.
Do his butt chat, but do his
Beyonce.
butt flap ever when he farts.
What?
He's unflappable, but do his butt cheeks flap when he farts.
I don't like
Okay.
you, Gabrielle.
Guys, I have to disappear for like a half an hour.
Then get on with it. No, we'll miss you, Harley. Goodbye.
I will be back in like
That's what they all
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
oh them.
We're very attached to our wizard. All right, so Aphros is retreating into the night.
Can I go to the barkeep?
Yeah, sure. Yes, hello, my friend.
Yes. Forgive me. Is there a way to access the roof of this establishment?
Oh yes, of course. It is always unlocked except at night. You may go up now if you wish.
It is locked at night, you say?
Yes.
Understood. Where might I go for that?
Oh, just keep going up. Up the stairs until you hit the ladder, and then climb up the ladder and push open the door.
Understood. Thank you. I guess I'm gonna head up to the room now.
Okay, you head up to. Are you heading up to the honeymoon suite, or are you heading up to the roof?
I'm not heading to the roof yet.
Okay, sure.
And I'm not going in the room yet either. I'm standing outside the door and waiting for everybody else to get there.
Okay,
Set it up.
Same.
sure. All right. You guys, as you all enter, Clover has resumed playing. It doesn't look like she's making a whole lot of money.
Poor Clover.
Yeah. All right, so you guys head on up to where your buddy Van is hanging around outside the honeymoon suite.
Ben.
But I call him.
Ben.
This is a Vex and Vax situation.
Oh,
Ugh,
sorry.
We're gonna hate the running
Fen.
names, aren't we?
Fen. Okay, for the record, next campaign I run, everybody's gonna be named like Carl, Steve, Marcia, Lewis.
Marsha?
Lewis? Would that be a tabaxi?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, nobody's left to be Lewis. I already get confused because my sister's boyfriend's name is Lewis, and half the time she's like, I'm having dinner with Lewis, and my mind's like, what are you doing with my cat?
Come here, Lewis. Boyfriend comes running.
The sad thing is, my sister's boyfriend is aware of this and understands that he cedes the name Lewis to the cat.
Nice.
Oof.
Oof.
Look, we're cat people. Everyone knows the cat comes first.
Okay then.
Moving along.
Yes.
After everybody else has gone into the room, then I will follow and I will stay right next to the door.
Okay. Alright, so you're standing right next to the door?
We should probably start by catching up Francis and Azalea.
Yes.
But since that would just be the conversation we had before, I feel like we might not have to go back over
Yeah,
that.
no. If they need an... Let's see. Francis is automatically subconsciously caught up, and Azalea, she's not here, so we're just gonna keep running.
Yeah, so when I'm catching them up, I'm also going to, in the details of the story, add the fact that the sun started morphing into the head of a lion, and then spoke to me and said I shouldn't be afraid of it. And then that was when the maniacal laughter started, and the sun was destroyed, and the sky was torn to shreds. And then the other lady appeared.
Vecna!
Yep.
Didn't we just have nice dreams and hallucinations instead of creepy ones?
I think you have to eat mushrooms for those.
Get me mushrooms! I'm kidding.
Okay.
So,
So,
Anything we need to discuss?
why are people trying to kill you?
The question I've been avoiding myself for so long. Well, I might as well answer it for myself as well as you. And at this point, I'm going to take out my pipe and I'm going to sit down on the floor by the door and say, make yourselves comfortable. This could be long.
I smell a
on how
backstory
many...
dump.
No. Depending on how many questions you might raise. Savannah, part of the reason why I've been so unwilling to forgive you is, well, I'm unwilling to forgive myself. To make a very long explanation as short as I can, part of my work as a researcher at the Capitol involved weapons research. And while I was given a choice to move into that position, I was not given a choice what that position researched. I was given contracts and told to complete them or face the consequences. Oftentimes, these contracts were hard to stomach. But after a while, I became hardened to it and learned not to regret that which I could not change. However, in the contracts that I was given, about 8 to 10 years into my tenure as a researcher, one of the contracts that I was given was by one of the generals of the Elven Army. None of you would know his name. He's been forgotten simply because of my failure. He had just reached the rank of general and had done so through great achievement, but not a great enough achievement to make history books, merely great enough achievement to catch the eye of the council. And part of reaching that rank for him was included the chance to receive a weapon. A very powerful, a very special weapon. And that which he requested was not pre-existing. And as such, it was given to me to discover. At the time, I was leading a research team of 3 other researchers, and we were requested to design a warhammer. This warhammer was meant to be a fearsome weapon, utilized enchantments and magic itself to propel itself through its swing, condensed fire magic at the head of the hammer, effectively propelling it across the swing, allowing for more force than the general's arms could muster. We made it, we tested it, it was effective, and God help me, I don't want to think of how we tested it, but the general, upon receiving it, was not satisfied. He liked the concept, he liked our methods, but he did not like our result. He wanted it to be stronger. And so we made it stronger. This happened 2, 3, 4 times. I've tried to forget it, but what I
It's
cannot
the Witch
forget.
King of Angmar's mace. Sorry.
Not quite. I've tried to forget it. I've tried to forget it, but one portion of it that I cannot forget. There was a mistake, and the final iteration of the device, it was too powerful. The condensed fire magic that was meant to propel it through its swing instead tore the arms off of its user. However, because we were so rushed by the general and were given mere days to finalize the next level of its power, each time we became more and more careless. And that last one, we didn't even take the time to test.
Sorry.
We presented it to the general, and he tested it, and he was the one that allowed us to discover its damage, its damaging capabilities.
You tore the general's arms off?
I did not.
No,
It
it
was.
did.
It did, yes,
Serves him
and that
right
is why
for
he's been
being
forgotten. Because the loss of his arms also meant the loss of his military career. As punishment, whoever was responsible on my team for such an oversight was going to be executed. And I knew which member of my team it was, but I could not bear to allow such an honest mistake to lead to his death. So I leveraged. And I said that it was my fault. And because I was proven to the council for my worth as a researcher, they did not want to execute me. Instead, I was removed from my position of authority in a research team and was made a mere research lackey to an extent. Of course, I had free time and I had every opportunity to do my own learning and my own research, but I was imprisoned within the research labs. And the reason why I spent 40 years in my lab was because that was the length of time I was sentenced to. So yes, Cervena, you were not given a choice on where you went. But I was not given a choice on when I went. I did not see the light of day for 40 years.
No wonder
That's
you
why I
got
wear these
paler.
glasses. What?
No wonder you got paler.
Ha, very funny.
I am pleased.
That's why I wear these glasses. Because it's painful after 40 years without it. And there are many more stories that I could tell, many more gruesome than that one. And I have many regrets. Every one of those stories, every one of those devices I was forced to research and forced to create is a reason why someone might want me dead.
Which one leads to these people?
Many of the devices I was asked to create were torture devices. They were meant to extract the truth in interrogation or fulfill punishments. Even prisoners of war. But my greatest regret about the entire time I spent in the research labs is likely the reason why they're coming for me. My greatest regret is not any of the devices that I made. My greatest regret is how they were tested. We would take prisoners of war, we would take slaves, we would take those that we considered mere beasts, and force them either to use the weaponry we created or to be tortured by the devices we made to prove their effectiveness. And I fear that I'm being hunted because I have been tracked to that inhumanity. But, Cervena,
Mm.
I must be truthful with you. The sword that we found in the home,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it went, but I would have been thankful if it were one of our party members that removed it from my sheath. Because I cannot do that again.
Well, I don't expect luck, but with a little bit of luck, we'll find it.
Well, now that I have exposed my deepest secret, shall we move forth to other discussions?
What are we discussing?
I suppose our methods for this upcoming mission could be good.
Go to the crypts, wander around, find the kid, come back.
Do we have no preparations to make?
Lenny still need to buy flour, but
I mean, we really just have to worry about the bandits. So, I mean, I don't really know if there's much else that.
I'll see what I can do to keep you hidden if you want.
There may be. We'll need to do to find out about the bandits if we find them.
Would you say?
We will need to find out about how they're set up once we locate them, but locating them may be difficult. We don't know how big the crypts and things are. We may need to do something more specific than wandering in order to find them.
Do we have any... Perhaps we can get some research on the crypts. Do we know what this kid looks like?
No.
That's actually a good point.
That might make it difficult to find him. Wanders through the clubs. Hello, are you XYZ? If you're not a
probably
corpse,
should have
please
thought about
answer.
that.
If you're not a corpse, please answer.
I didn't really think about that.
So, that's actually really an oversight on my part. I'll say that they would tell you, that he would tell you.
That he would have told us, so he actually.
Yes, a tabaxi with white fur.
Didn't.
Tabaxi with white fur, named Yazin is the name of the kid.
What's the name? Yazim?
Yes, Yazeem.
I read your mind. Ah, cool. Like
You are cool. You're very cool.
Thank you.
Alright, as you guys are in the middle, you hear a dunk, 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 dunk on the door.
Is that
Clover. Still Clover.
coming in?
Clover comes in. It's just like she has she's like a little almost like Robin Hood cap type on her head. She's done up very much like a bard, very much like a royal red waistcoat, like brownish tights, the whole 9 yards. And she holds out her hand. And she got like 5 silver pieces.
Oh, do you? That's pretty good.
Not bad.
So listen, we've been offered and taken a contract to find. Remember the giant gnoll that came in here the other day? So he works for House Telev. I don't know if you're familiar with him. but bunch of merchants. Anyway, so their son, Yazim, is missing, and we've agreed to go out and try and find him. You're under no obligation to come with. It was a verbal contract, so it's not really. We didn't promise that that we would have more than just the 6 of us. So you'd be welcome to come, but you're not. Like I said, it's completely up to you.
May I think about it?
Of course, I don't think we're planning on going out tonight. I'm assuming we're going to start looking tomorrow.
We might
Do
want to go chat with the guards and let them know. I'm
Yeah, we do
okay
have signature.
to go
But
tell them if that would help.
Yeah. What time of day is it currently?
it's getting around 8 o'clock. 8, 9
Midnight.
o'clock at night. Yeah, probably about 8. I'm gonna peg it at 8:20. You guys have not eaten dinner yet.
Yeah, I should
Alright.
probably do that. So why don't we eat dinner and then a couple of us can go to the guards and. Well, do we want to give them the heads up, or do we just go and show them the signet ring as we pass?
I think it would be good to say on their good side. I think we go and we tell them that we were hired, and we'll show them the signet ring.
That seems wise.
You know.
All right. We can go after we eat, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah. No. You guys can go downstairs. You can contact the innkeep. Yes, hurdy-gurdies make terrible explosives, Ethan.
Brain fart.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's going on the quotes list.
What?
Right after, if you're not a corpse, please answer. Is it IES or YS?
What?
For hurdy-gurdies?
Yeah.
Oh!
IES.
Yeah, it would have to be.
What did you say? Hurdy-gurdies make terrible explosives?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm kidding me.
Okay.
Who's kidding who?
I'm confused about that also.
Oh, sorry, that was background noise from my end.
Ah! There. Okay, alright. Alright, so, yeah, no, okay, you guys are gonna contact the innkeeper. The innkeeper is just gonna start, like, dumping food on you guys. You guys get, like... You guys get some impressive... Like, you get some impressive food. Like, there's like, but basically what this guy does is basically he brings up, like, a whole, like, barbecued turkey. Like a butterflied and roasted turkey with all kinds of exotic spices on it. And there's rice and many kinds of dips. There's rice with nuts and dried fruit, many kinds of dips, lots of flatbreads.
Hope no one's vegetarian.
I certainly am not.
Alright, so as you guys eat, you guys find yourselves, I don't know, buddy. What else do you guys want to do tonight?
Go talk to the guards.
Alright, who's going to talk to the guards?
I will.
Alright.
I want to pick up flour too on the way back.
Alright,
I
sure.
want my explosives!
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to go with her to talk to the guards.
Absolutely.
And I'll go shopping with her.
Sure, the
afterwards.
3 of you guys are going. As much as I hate to say this, it's like 9 o'clock at night. It's like pressing on like 9:30. People are closing up shop.
We can always. The guards will be there. Why don't we look for flour first before people really close down, and then we can go to the guards.
We can also go
What?
purchasing things tomorrow morning.
That's also an
You
option.
can. Unless something goes wrong in the middle of the night, which I'm not discounting at the moment, since I was told weird stuff might happen tonight.
Well, let's go try then.
Alright.
Alright, so...
It's a big city, it can't be that hard to find flour.
Sure, and soon enough, on your way down towards the guards, you see that there is a guy walking, carrying a couple sacks of what is at least marked as flour in common in a bag.
Does he look like he's trying not to be seen and it's probably crack in a bag?
First of all, they don't know what crack is. Secondly, they're walking around carrying these sacks. Like
Does it look like it would be cocaine?
No, it
Because
doesn't.
I would know what cocaine
You
is.
would know what cocaine is, and no, you're not. He doesn't. He doesn't look
Is that
suspicious.
flour?
Yes, it is.
Is it for sale?
Sort of. I mean, I'm taking it to my bakery.
So you already bought it from somewhere?
Yes.
Where'd you get it?
I bought it from the dry goods merchant, but he is now closed. I will sell you some flour.
How much?
15 gold pieces.
How stupid do we look? I mean, we can literally just wait until the morning.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. I'll give it to you for 3.
That also seems ludicrously expensive.
Are you planning on giving her the entire sack? Do you need the entire sack? Wait, hold up, actually. How much do you need?
How much does a sack of flour weigh in this case?
Probably about 20 pounds.
That's heavy.
Like a butt ton.
A butt ton, yes. Now we're back into Gabrielle measurements now.
I'd probably go for about 10 pounds of flour, so.
How about we take half of it for like a gold and a few silver?
A gold still seems ludicrously expensive for flour.
I also agree.
I'll give it to you for 1 gold, 5 silver. Whole sack. I'm not dividing a sack on the street.
Again, this all seems ludicrously expensive.
You're the one who needs the flour. I'll let you negotiate it out.
I'm saying this out of game.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Yeah, but
You
Amari.
know what? I'll wait for the morning.
All right then, your loss.
Technically, it would be your
Technically,
loss.
that would be yours.
Very well. Come buy some sticky rolls.
Okay, that actually does sound kind of appealing.
Andrew,
Yar.
I do want you to know,
Mm-hmm.
a butt ton may be a Gabrielle measurement, but a butt load is a legitimate measurement.
I actually did know that a butt load was a real measurement.
A butt
Oh,
load
that's a
is
butt
2
load.
hogsheads.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we should be measuring things in this game. We should be. Sorry.
A buttload of flour, guys.
How do you measure out a hogshead? Because, like, I legitimately have always thought that it was just, like, a hollowed-out hogshead.
Well, yeah, you cut off.
Yeah.
Can't say that with a straight face.
Tasha's
No,
medieval
a hogshead is a
measurement
small
solution.
cask. Well,
Okay.
a hogshead can vary in capacity, but hogsheads were typically about a 63-gallon cask.
Okay, that's, like, the stupidest name for a cask I've ever heard of, because I kid you not, until I was about, like, 18 or 19, I literally thought that it was just, like, a dried-up pig's head.
It really is.
Shut up.
Okay, so you guys want you guys wander away from the flower deal of a lifetime, and on to the guards.
Wait, he's a merchant himself. He owns a bakery, and he thinks, and he's trying to convince us that it's our. How's his bakery doing?
Well, considering his 20 golden sticky rolls aren't going over well.
Be a copper.
Mere hours before he closes the doors. Whenever the ancient Jalbari equivalent of Gordon Ramsay has come to the restaurant and left fuming. Okay. So you guys make it to the guards, where you just have to see. You guys see. What's his name? The lieutenant.
The lieutenant.
The lieutenant. You see
I
Lieutenant.
believe his name was Lieutenant What's His Nuts.
Lieutenant Abab.
Nuts.
Lieutenant Abab is sitting inside. Sort of like you see him. He's like sitting behind his desk with the door open, like fanning himself. It's hot.
Hey,
This.
Lieutenant.
What can I do for you?
Good evening. We've come into a bit of business
A
that
bit of
requires our
business?
passage. I'm sorry?
A bit of business? What is a bit of business?
It's a contract that would require our travel briefly outside of the city. We have permission
From whom?
from. I'm going to show him the signet ring.
Oh, very well. Please return at your earliest convenience.
Thank you.
I
We'll
just
be
wanted to
leaving.
make sure that you didn't think we were trying to run out of town on you.
Understood. The investigation, the general is staying longer than expected. You can tell that there's more traffic in here than there was before. That there's a lot more people being led in to the jail, and there's a lot of people standing around looking incredibly stressed out.
Got this is a space problem?
No, there's no such thing as a space problem here. Look at all the space we have around us. Look at the desert. You have a wonderful trip. Return to us soon. The investigation will probably commence in a day or two.
Okay. If we
Can I
turn up
ask
dead,
who's going to be helming the investigation, please?
It would be me, madam.
Can I have a quick word with you?
Absolutely. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
I'm just going to wander over to him and quietly say, I know Lings got mentioned, but it was a little crazy, and that there were people being killed with a sword. Now, nobody in our group, the sword just vanished partway through, but on the off chance somebody finds it, don't pick it up. It makes you try and kill the people around you and then yourself.
This has been a very long week.
Sorry to make it longer. Thought I might want to tell you that before it got even longer.
Very well. We will consult with both the temple and we'll consult with the court mage of the region of the king, rather. And
again, we don't know where it is, but
yeah. It will be taken care of. I will add it to my report.
just wanted to give you a heads up.
Thank you. You're just gonna sit down and you just see me just he's like,
okay, I'm good. Let's go.
Okay, all right.
Excuse me.
Yes, my boy.
I was wondering if you could let us know. Is there any place where there are dogs trained for tracking that we could rent?
Tracking dogs. I do believe there is a hunting club. I don't know if they have dogs, but they have hawks.
What do you hunt out in the desert?
Antelope.
Desert rabbits.
Thank you,
Desert
stranger.
buffalo?
The occasional jungle buffalo.
Fuck you.
Meerkats.
Good eating on a
There
meerkat.
would not be, as the guards and things, you don't have any connection to people who have dogs that can track?
Very few people keep dogs in this city. Very few.
Really?
That seems unlikely.
Hunting dogs are
Is
not
that because it seems like a like a Goofy and Pluto situation?
Not necessarily.
Both Goofy and Pluto are dogs. Why is one on a leash and one allowed to do his own thing? You know, Flynn's versus dogs.
That was very meta.
I gotta tell you, there are not many places that do, but there is a hunting club that does rent out hunting animals. They might have dogs. They have a jackal, I think. At least when I went, I was there many years ago for somebody's wedding. It was. I was you see I was sort of the last minute political invite, you see, but so, you don't care. All right, I'm going to let you folks get out of my office.
Where exactly is this hunting club? So we don't have to search the whole city for it.
It's by the main gate. By the main gate, long, low building. Look for horses. Just about the only place around here that has horses.
Thank you.
Welcome. If you hit the main gate from this direction, you've gone too far.
After everybody else starts to walk away,
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk over to the captain of guard. I think he's the captain.
He's the lieutenant. You have not met. You've not yet met the captain because you've actually only interacted with the guard at night.
I'm gonna go interact with the lieutenant of the guard then.
Yes. Hello.
I'm gonna kind of like rotate him away, and I'm going to say, I must warn you, I have no affiliation with what you are about to see. And then I will pull out the symbol of the cult of what's her name? The cult of Phasalia. I'm going to pull out the symbol, and I'm going to say, according to the temple, this is the symbol of a cult. Are you aware of any
Yes.
acting of said cult in this area?
Yes.
Recently?
Not recently, but yes, I am aware of them.
Well, then I should make you aware of one happening recently. I have this symbol from the body of someone who tried to kill me in the desert.
Who the hell are you people?
Your worst nightmare.
So much,
Bureaucratically speaking.
so much
Really unlucky
paperwork. Like you just like see like a Bob's soul is like leaving through his eyes. Okay, thank you for
And
the warning.
I'm gonna basically tell him I wanted to make you aware to keep your guard up for it. And I wanted to let you know that I'm doing the best I can to investigate and see if I can find where they are.
Very well. Very well. Keep us posted, please. Thank you, sir.
I will do my best. And then I will join the rest of the group.
Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
From the dead silence, I'd guess we're going back to the inn.
Sure thing.
Going back
Yeah.
Alright,
trying to sleep despite the scary visions, and
Yeah,
then
oh.
tomorrow morning for a shopping trip.
sure. So as you guys are approaching the door, all of a sudden you hear a loud commotion. Not from inside, but from out in the city. You see, what looks like suddenly growing lighter towards the temple. You see lights. You hear clamoring. You hear voices. You hear running feet. You hear all of a sudden the sound of dissonant horns being raised to the sky.
Guess I should have bought the overpriced flour after all.
I'd
Oof.
like to go
What do
investigate.
you need this flower for?
So, if you can use flour to create an explosion.
Yeah.
If you can basically get it in the air, flour will cause a dust explosion, and they're incredibly violent.
Same thing with coffee creamer.
There have been prisoners that managed to score a job in the kitchen in the prison,
Yep.
acquire some flour and a light bulb, and they made an explosive that got themselves out of jail.
Wow.
Like it's potent.
Ven is buying flour as a last-ditch potential explosive.
Coffee
And
creamer.
unfortunately, you can't do it with sand because of the chemical composition. You need the carbohydrates in the flour.
You do it with sawdust.
You can do it with sawdust, yeah.
And artificial coffee creamer is terrifying.
I'm excited. This ought to be good.
Nobody is likely to take flour off of you. Being
Anything,
like, haha, a weapon.
anything flammable that can be aerosolized can be an
Pretty
explosion.
much. Yeah.
Alright, so
Alright, so
horns.
horns. Yes.
Great.
Felix would like to go investigate. He's gonna run off down the
Felix!
street.
I'm gonna follow
The
him.
blind kid's running off on his own, I guess. I'm
Who's
gonna
going?
He
I'm
can't,
gonna run after Felix.
he can't see the light, but he can hear the noises, and it
Yes.
sounds interesting.
Alright, so as Felix is
Who's
running,
the wall?
smashing into walls, falling over front stoops, running over old women and small children, falling down wells.
Like
Zoom
the
out of
cat,
the darkness.
reach up to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and start guiding him so he doesn't.
he's actually
lost.
doing pretty fine.
Okay, but I won't
You
put my
can
hand
see
on his shoulder, but I will still stay with him.
Yeah. So as
I'll
he
follow them.
Same.
So as you guys kind of burst out onto sort of like the temple common, you see that there's like there's like this cadre of like soldiers, and they're carrying on their shoulders the general, who at this point is wide eyes. His eyes are the size of dinner plates. I mean, like
That's not healthy.
I mean, not literally.
Also impossible.
Not literal. Literary, not literal. And he's looking around. He's looking wildly around, and he's like in like one hand he's like holding a sword, and in the other hand he's holding he's like holding like a scepter aloft. You hear around wild-eyed, and so as you guys kind of crash into this giant party, and people are like starting to run out of their houses and stuff. You hear windows being thrown open, and I'm repeating back from Harley because it's a thing that happens. But as the sound is coming, you look at the general's looking around wild, and he goes, "Yes. Yes, I have seen!" And we're going to end for tonight on that note.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
It's only 11.
It's only 11 and Harley literally just got back. You can't do that to her.
I feel like I missed the entire session because I wasn't there, like, involved in, like, the first hour. I came in for, like, 2 sentences and then I had to leave.
Oh.
For the sake of the Harleys.
Okay, for the sake of the Harleys, we'll give it a little longer. A little longer. Okay. So the general is now yelling.
What else is new? Do like the guards seem disturbed, or any of the priests like anything?
I don't know. It's like people seem to be like people are acting like it's a celebration, but nobody looks happy. Like it's almost like a festival atmosphere, but nobody looks happy.
Does the general look harmed?
The general
Or
looks
just-
exhausted and crazed.
I'm gonna lean over to one of the people. What's going on exactly?
We don't know. We just woke up. There were sounds and yelling and shouting, and all of a sudden somebody was yelling, "The general is awake! The general is awake!" Then I heard somebody say that the general was dead. And somebody said that the general was spouting scriptures, new scriptures from the temple.
That's weird.
Well,
Who
he
is he
doesn't look
exactly?
particularly dead.
What'd you say?
He doesn't look particularly dead.
Are,
Who exactly is this general?
What?
What'd you say, Noah?
are there enough crowds of people around the general that you can't get to him?
Yeah, no, you can't get directly to him.
Okay.
Who exactly is this general?
Who is that? Who this is general? You guys do know. You do know his name. It was given as Lord Adari. He is considered to be the left hand of the pharaoh.
Left
Why
hand.
did he?
Yes,
Do you
left
know
hand of the
why
pharaoh.
did he come here? Do you know?
But nobody knows. He was supposed to be here he was supposed to be here to commune with his patron. That's at least what he said to all of us. He made a speech before the temple on Thursday night before we worshipped.
It seems like he was successful, at least according to him.
I think so.
What were the scriptures that he was saying?
I do not know. Only the priests who were up there with him know.
So, no offense, you don't know anything.
No?
That's fair.
This deeply offended, like, washerwoman
Thank
is going
you
to
for your
wander
time.
back off into the crowd. You're welcome.
You may be the most tactless person of all time.
I said that's fair. I wasn't expecting, and I said no offense because I mean she doesn't know anything new.
You know, usually when people say no offense, they actually just say it because they're saying something that people would usually take offense from. And it's kind of offenseful anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's why I did the that's fair part.
Andrew,
Because I wasn't really expecting her to I mean, nobody would really expect her to know much if she kind of just ran out of her house from being asleep. I mean, I wasn't expecting much.
Yes.
Then why did you ask her?
Because it was a wild guess. She was the closest person, seeing as Lieutenant What's-His-Face has been cagey as hell. I thought it might actually get us somewhere.
Yes, Noah.
Maybe she knew something being a local that we didn't. And I know that you're a local, but I mean...
I'm
I
not
don't-
from this city anyway. Noah's from trying to say something.
Yeah. Hi, Noah.
I'd like to try and get close enough to the general that I can get a good look at him, which means I'd like to get within 30 feet of the man if possible.
Sure, make a dex check.
Oh dear.
Or
I'm not-
strength, or
Bad at
acrobatics.
those is it's not gonna go well. None of these are good options. If it doesn't involve talking to someone or casting magic, I got a 4.
4. You guys watch in horror as Felix steps forward into the crowd and is immediately carried off into the crowd. You see like a little.
Come on! I'm gonna
Guys,
go running after him.
crowd surfing.
Except under their feet.
I'm gonna like go and grab him.
Backward crowd surfing.
make a dex check.
What?
A dex check.
No, it's not me. 8.
8. So as you reach in to grab him, he grabs a hold of you, and then you feel yourself getting pulled into like this throng, and like the horns are starting, and somewhere there's a drum starting to play, and slowly people are starting to do this giant like ring dance around this mad general who is being hoisted up on the shoulders of his men and still roaring and raging about the things he's seen and the wild visions that he's had at the top of the ziggurat.
Is he describing anything?
Ben looks
or-
at Finn and goes, you know, I think this is a really good reason for why we don't do religion in our society.
Yeah, well, I think there holds some merit to why they do, and it definitely is reasoning for why we don't.
Should we try to get them out of the crowd?
Probably.
And
They know how to get back to the hotel.
I don't
Yes.
want them to get stampeded on and hurt.
We're not getting trampled, right? We're just getting
Like
dragged along.
you're dragged into like this giant conga line from the pits of hell.
Like that looks
Forcible
They
great.
seem
dancing.
to have inadvertently joined a dance. I don't think they will die from dancing.
Is the general like describing his visions?
Yes, he
yelling about how
is.
had them?
He's yelling mostly about what he's seen, but every once in a while he'll post, yes, with eyes of stars and fingers of flame.
Can we get like a summarization?
Freedom! He keeps talking about, victory is one thing that is constant. Victory is very, very constant. He does mention the moon. He mentions stars. He
Did you
mentions...
mention a hunter moon?
Not particularly. He mentions that, on the feet of those who came before we shall stand. He repeats this phrase many times until the crowd is ripped up into a frenzy and is chanting it over and over again. He does make a cry that the blood of Salia will not be forgotten.
What the frick?
Peachy.
Okay, is this part of the area and peoples that are at war with the elves?
No, Jalbar's not at war with the elves. They are at war with the Sterii.
Okay.
Couple of things. First
Yes.
of all, this whole scene reminds me of Philadelphia after the Eagles won.
Best day ever.
A flaming cart rolls past on the outskirts.
It was so fun. So fun trying to get on the train. That was literally the feeling, just getting dragged onto the train.
I
Second,
feel like it's the most Philly thing of all time to go on a rampage, a violent rampage through your own city because you won.
Exactly.
It is.
Did you guys hear about, there was like this hitchhiker robot that like hitchhiked its way all the way
Yes.
across Canada and then was immediately beaten to death in Philadelphia?
Like, it
Yeah.
made it nowhere when they tried to do it across the United States. It literally got to Pennsylvania to start its journey and was beaten to death. It was found in scraps by the side of the road.
It was really depressing, but it was so freaking funny.
Yeah, sometimes.
Anyway, sorry,
Okay,
what were you
So
saying?
we're getting pulled further into the crowd.
Yes.
Are we getting pulled in the direction that I can get a good look at the general?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, can we move diagonally?
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Detect magic.
Yes.
Sure. Through your casting of Detect Magic, you are able to note that the general is wearing magically enhanced armor.
Okay. But
That's
no other magical auras obvious around?
no other arcane magical aura. No.
Good to know.
Do I notice, like, are other people wearing, like, icons like the one that Fen has?
Sure.
Like, are we seeing other symbols of Celia?
Make a perception check.
I'll do the same.
Sure.
2, never mind.
I can try.
Oh my gosh!
Also
Do I
a
get
natural 2.
advantage because I'm literally right next to all these people.
Instead, you're staring into the eyes. There's a very handsome gentleman. Appears to be some sort of perhaps a tradesman, carpenter, metal worker, maybe. Very enchanting looking fellow, and he keeps grabbing your attention every time you try and look around.
Who is this? Fen or me? How about yes?
I don't discriminate here. No, I'm kidding.
How do you know that's not how Fen swings?
I don't know. How
We're
does
just
Fen
all
swing?
getting caught on the same one person because we all rolled terrible.
No, it's more like one of you notices. One of you notices Amari staring at him, and pretty soon you're all staring at the same guy for no apparent reason.
Okay, but like actually, because for Felix and I, because we're literally like in this crowd getting
Sure.
pulled around.
Like not kidding around, you don't see any. You don't see any others. You see other holy symbols. You see a lot of lions. So
No, with advantage was 21.
Yeah, no, you see lions, you see suns, you
You see
see
tigers, you see bears, oh my.
no, you see the occasional ibis. And even somewhere in there, you guys do spy a balance icon from
Wow.
Kind of like a yin and yang.
not really yin and yang.
Stereosi balance, right?
No, you would actually recognize this as something else entirely. This is actually part of the Brotherhood of the Beam. They are a religion.
Did you say beam or bean?
Beam.
No, he
Beam.
definitely said
Okay.
beam. It's like Lord of the Beam, but a brotherhood.
No, the Brotherhood of the
They
Beam.
worship lima beans, but not the kidney beans. Those aren't
They
sacred.
worship the sugar bean.
Sorry, what?
The sugar snap.
They-
Pea. Never mind.
The green.
They worship Oakland A's general
All of
manager Billy
America
Bean.
worships the coffee bean.
Yes, the coffee bean.
This is unfortunate.
Is that what the general sounds like? That demonic hissing that came out of his mouth just now?
Shut up.
No,
Victory.
Okay then.
So you do see it's actually an icon of the Brotherhood of the Beam.
That beam though.
That beam dough.
Cool. Is anyone like affected by him saying, you know, the blood of Celia will not be forgotten?
A roar is thrown up from the crowd.
Like happy roar or like we hate Celia?
No, as in like this would be like a bunch of Americans if the British like at Yorktown shot George Washington in the back of the head as they were leaving.
Wait, so they're mad? I can't tell. I'm confused.
Yes, they're
Ye-
angry.
Yes.
They are incensed. They are furious.
They are furious that like the greatest leader they ever had was slain and then horribly mistreated.
They're
Afterwards.
ready to go take over the world to spread their empire again.
Okay,
Yes.
so they're pro Celia, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
They are pro-Celia, much the way that you could say the U.S. is probably, for the most part, pro-Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
So why are the guards happy with this? If this was a cult that the lieutenant was clearly distressed about.
Well, for one thing, you don't know that the lieutenant was distressed about it, but
That's true.
It's true.
Do the guards look upset?
No, the guards are joining in.
Okay, none of this makes any sense whatsoever, but whatever.
The cult of Celia is different than just Celia as a figurehead and symbol for the Empire.
Like that's a fair point. No, I think it's like kind of like the difference. It'd be like the difference of sort of like it's like if somebody murdered like it'd be like if somebody murdered Abraham Lincoln. Somebody did murder Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
So it'd be like saying
Live a good old life.
it'd be like saying like wow, do we want to kill John Wilkes Booth because he killed Lincoln, or are we saying Lincoln is our god and this idiot shot him? And Lincoln will rise again. Lincoln
so
will
the
rise
cult is
again.
looking to assassinate the one that killed Celia.
Who's already dead. Lord Varian died about several hundred years
So they
ago.
just want to dig him up.
Anyone bought them a history book?
Okay, so the cult is worshipping Celia as a goddess.
Yes.
The
Oh, this is a
people.
woman.
She's a
Celia
folk
is a woman, yeah.
Yeah, she seems to be like the people treat her as you would treat a folk hero. They're chanting her name. They're chanting the name of the current pharaoh.
So basically, this is like the cult of the Hamilton fans.
No, this is this is more like
How many pop culture references can we make analogies out of?
I know this
A lot.
this is more like I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't
take
even
the Hamilton one. You don't realize how bad they are.
I was thinking more like actually to be brutally honest. The Philadelphia after the Super Bowl isn't that terrible of a comparison. It is wild reverie where the sins of the past might be undone by our undying fervor and love of what is ours.
So,
Again, really glad I was in England.
at the moment... What was that, Harley?
Oh, I just said, oh, again, really glad that I was in England.
Are we getting at all the sense that this is we're going to lash out at anybody we see who could even be remotely affiliated with any of these?
I'm not sure
that
you'd be able to get this much, but this crowd is quickly turning into a mob.
I'm going to try and
As in
exit as soon as possible.
Roughly, am I getting the sense that they're pissed off with Varian for killing her? Do they seem like the kind of mob who's going to say, "Hey, look, elves, let's lynch them"?
They honestly don't seem to notice you.
Okay.
They'll
Yes.
notice me after I try to get Felix out of the crowd, though.
Yeah.
Because if it looks like it's turning into a mob, I'm going to do my very best to get to Felix.
Sure. They don't seem to
Azalea
care.
already.
Sorry, go ahead, Celia.
Sorry. So Azalea already doesn't really like large crowds. So would she notice this turning more mob-like?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Cool. Azalea's gonna start to trying to get Cervena's attention. Be like,
Yeah.
I really don't like this.
Francis,
Either, but I'm not sure.
We should really leave, get them out of here, and just not be here.
Let's get them out of here.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
If I can catch Ven's eye, I'm gonna wave her to get going, and I'm gonna do my best to.
How do you want to
on
get
my way
them out of here? Do you
I'm going
think
to take a running jump, and I'm going to do kind of like the awkward guy in a Disney movie type thing, where he's jumping across the tops of people's heads and shoulders and stuff. And I'm just running towards Felix across the tops of the people.
oh, Ethan.
Acrobatics check a 4.
Oh, Ethan.
I would
Ethan.
go with there's usually
Ethan.
more space around people's feet.
Ethan, this is I don't need to tell you. I don't need to tell you what kind of check this is gonna be. Roll, my man.
Watch him natural.
Come on, natural 20.
This is like-
Come on, natural
Azalea's
20.
gonna look at Ven and be like, if this doesn't work, I have another idea.
This is like Carrington.
Oh, Ethan, what'd you roll?
A
That's a
7.
Okay, that's not as
It's not
bad.
a natural 1.
Oh, you're glad it's not a natural one. You're very glad it was.
Would have been.
I would die. I would fall under their feet and get trampled to death.
Oh no, a natural one would be much worse. So
Terrifying.
That means that you're gonna die now.
so then you go, don't worry, I'll save them. So you like try and jump up, but like you like try to hurdle, but like, the first person you pick is like this little old woman, and she basically just capsizes forward, and you just get.
Do I start a dominoes effect where all the people are falling over?
You just sprung flat out. You actually land on top of the same like carpenter guy that they were all staring at, and just take him out like butt to the back of his head.
And it was love at true sight.
So basically your entire weight just mashed this guy's face into like stone.
You also felt the old lady's spine compress.
So much for his good looks, I guess.
I'm gonna
Okay.
jump up and I'm gonna keep running, whether it's through the crowd or on top of them.
All right, make another acrobatics check, my dude.
Oh, he's doing this. This is basically a circle that they're spinning in. Right?
Yes.
Can I just move in a tangent again? Like,
Okay. Well, here's the
like
thing.
Riptide?
The circle is like starting to like crash into these fallen people.
I'm gonna take the
8.
advantage to get out.
Was it an 8? So you're like forcing
Okay,
your
one better.
Going up in the world.
you're staggering through. You yourself are now getting sucked into the circle dance.
I would like to try and wait for them to come around in the circle
Yes.
and start moving parallel and see if I can just hook them out one at a time.
See, when I said that I was going to run through/across the crowd, I was very much misunderstanding what was happening here, because I thought this was going down the street, not going in a circle.
No.
Oh, sorry, man.
So that really would have changed many
Oh,
of the things I did if I had known. But
We did so.
I'm just
But it was funny.
feeling like
Uh,
Amari and I are baggage on a baggage claim.
Yes.
Yes, I can baggage claim them. Excuse
I-
me, that's my bag. Pardon me, I need the small blonde one.
The small blood.
I will say, I did roll an 18 on my acrobatics, so can I get out and grab someone on my way?
You are able to grab yourself and Felix out of the circle, but Fen is still being sucked into the center of this circle.
all right,
Can I do my
Can I see that
thing
they've
and
gotten
try
out of
and
the
just
ring?
Baggage claim Fen
Yeah,
out?
sure. You can see, you can see your sister running
can I make
alongside.
another acrobatics check to get out?
You can both make acrobatics checks.
This is gonna be good.
Frick yeah, 21.
16.
Yes, you guys get out fine. You stumble out right next to where the crowd is swelling, and like Francis is kind of like he's like keeping an eye like on. He's like there's more people coming. And I'm gonna point, and you can see that there's
Let's get
people
going.
running over the top of the ziggurat from the other side into the temple.
I'm gonna like start running the like opposite
not
direction.
Be here. How's that sound?
Make a
Does your mother have any sayings about mobs?
what? Mom
Does
said.
your mother have any sayings about?
My mom said when the mob gets angry, you get going. Okay.
Your mother was a wise woman.
Make a perception check. Somebody who was not in the circle. So anybody who was not in the circle, make a perception check.
I assume I don't count as having been in the circle
You do not.
since I was baggage claiming.
so Azalea had been, because I had been trying to get
Mhm.
people's attention that time, it wasn't working. So Azalea had been trying to get people's attention because she had an idea that
Oh.
whole time, and no one was really hearing her. So she looks a little bit, aside from being a little bit frightened and nervous about the mob, she also looks kind of discouraged because she had an idea that she liked,
What was
and
her
it didn't get
idea?
heard. So she had a spell called Shield that would provide like a little force field in front of her, and she was gonna take a rope into the thing and use a rope to like help them direct their way out.
Correct me if I'm
Aww.
wrong, but shield only lasts 1 round.
Oh, I don't know. I missed that. But it was an idea. And whether or not it would have actually worked, she had an idea. And Azalea's not particularly confident.
Perception
Oh.
is 19.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
There's too much mob in my face. I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
There's
You're cataloging everyone's shoes in the mob.
yes. There's too much.
And that was the other thing, because her idea was partially because as a small person, it's a lot easier to like dodge through crowds.
Yeah. So Azalea, Francis is gonna like keep a firm hold on you and start to kind of like move you back towards the inn. Then you see as you look up as Francis points out all the people coming. You see that there is one figure, a man with a lone figure standing up on the steps, unmoving, just sort of watching the crowd below. And you notice he's right out of the way because he's wearing clerical robes, and 2, he has very long blonde hair. You've not seen another. You haven't seen a person with blonde hair here except for Felix.
Felix doesn't have blonde hair.
Felix doesn't have blonde hair, everybody. You heard it
Felix
here
has
first.
blonde
Well,
hair.
Never mind! You're the only blonde-haired
Does
person you
anybody
see
know why
possibly
there's a
ever.
blonde-haired priest and the steps not moving?
No?
Did anybody who's at Temple see this guy before?
Did we?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Is there any distinguishable traits about him other than his blonde hair?
Blonde hair, and that's all you can really make out from this distance.
Well, like, is he wearing anything colorful?
Oh
anything
yes,
like that?
he's wearing clerical robes. They're
Like
they're,
Alman's
they're
Soul?
like cream and red.
Okay.
So those would be the traditional colors of Almansul.
I really want to know more, but I don't want to die in a mob, so...
We'll find out more on another occasion.
All right, so
Self-preservation!
are you guys getting back to the inn? Okay, so as you guys are heading back to the inn, you see that there's like more people running down the street towards you, and among them you see keeping to the edges and coming kind of slowly. You see Clover still holding her mandolin. What's going on?
Mob.
Yeah,
Inside.
don't go that way.
Okay. So you guys are gonna duck
They're
back in.
celebrating the mad proclamations of an insane general.
You see that as you guys get back to the innkeeper is like trying to shut his door. He's in the process of shutting his big door. You see that there's quite a few people gathered inside.
Can you let us in, please?
Oh, quickly, my friend, quickly, my friends, quickly! He's just gonna push you guys all through the door. You slam it, bolt down, second bolt down.
This ever happened before?
Nothing like this, no. But I'm always prepared.
Thank you, I think.
You're welcome. You see, there's a lot of gnolls and a few humans gathered in here.
That was so much fun.
Do they look like slaves?
Some of them, yeah.
Azalea's looking at Felix like he's crazy.
So maybe we should go back upstairs, just in case.
I'm good with that. Azalea will start up the stairs.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go also.
all right, so you folks head back to the honeymoon suite.
I'm going up to the roof.
Oh, you're going up to the roof? Okay.
That's an idea.
Oh yeah,
Do you mind
actually,
if-
that's a very good idea.
Do you mind if I join you?
Watch things from
Likewise.
there.
Somewhat, but I cannot stop you.
So
I'll
whom was
stand on
that
the
directed, Amari or me? Or both?
Both.
We'll
Alright.
stand on the opposite side of the roof. At least I will.
All right, so
I'll stay far away from you.
as you guys climb
Never
up
mind,
to the
ignore.
roof. Sure. Which sides do you want to be on?
Whatever side he's not on.
Well, you're gonna want to be on the same side as me because I'm on the. I wanted to be on the side that's facing the mob,
Okay.
watching it through the scope of thorns.
Sure. Eve-
Oh my word.
eventually,
Not
the
actually like I don't have Black Rose loaded into thorns. I'm literally just using it as like a telescope.
sure. Basically, the entire party is now joining you on the roof to watch this mob.
Yeah, if everybody else goes up, Azalea will go up too.
Felix is going to hang out, but I'm not going to watch it.
It's like everyone going up to the roof to watch fireworks,
Yes, the mob. You
except a mob.
you guys
Except
watch.
Felix, because Felix can't see anyway.
I don't know.
I'll give a play-by-play.
Play-by-play. As you note, as you start giving your play-by-play, you notice that Clover has a notebook and a quill, and she's writing.
What you
I'm gonna
doing?
try and peek over her shoulder and see what she's read.
She's trying to write the events in verse.
That's
Oh,
cool.
A true bard.
Interesting.
You see, every once in a while, she's adding a bit of musical notation.
When you're done, do you think you could show us?
Of course.
A true bard, or just a wannabe?
Oof.
Wait, what did you just say?
Did you get the pun? I said a true bard, or just a wannabe? Troubadour?
Oh.
Troubadour?
Ah.
Troubadour? I thought that was clever.
That wasn't what I thought you said.
It
at first,
took
and
too
I'm
much
really
explanation.
glad.
No, what I heard was a true bard or just a woman.
Wow!
Wannabe.
When I heard too, and I was slightly insulted.
My word. Okay, so
Andrew, as soon as
Yes.
it reaches a point where the mob is starting to die down and I don't feel like I need
Yeah.
to keep watching it,
sure,
I would like to start working on that dirty 20 knowledge engineering check.
absolutely. You feel free to start. But you're making some sketches and such. But please note that it doesn't die down until about like 4 in the morning,
Okay.
and it gets much bigger until it eventually dissipates and kind of breaks down into several different boisterous bunches throughout the city.
I'm gonna take a watch shift through the night.
Sure.
Not the whole night.
Okay. Some loud people pass close to the inn, but nobody bothers you. Nobody bothers the inn. And I think that on the pale, rose-colored sunrise, that cold desert morning the next day, is where we're going to start our next session.
Wait, is the mob still there?
No, I said they broke up into several different boisterous groups throughout the city. And by the time dawn came, everybody was pretty much at home.
How's the city look?
Intact. As far as you can tell, no buildings burned. Looks like carts were burned.
Can I see any casualties?
Go, too clever. Go, too clever.
What was that?
Making a smirk. Yes, all the bodies are everywhere.
There are 4,000 bodies being carted to the city morgue.
you do actually notice that it looks like there are some people who were definitely trampled in the square by the temple.
Okay, but like, what did you roll?
Percentile.
And what was the percentile? that
49.
you laughed at? What?
49.
Wait, what did you laugh at them?
I thought it was 94 at first.
All the people.
All the people of the entire city are dead.
We are now the proud owners of a ghost town.
It's just basically like you, that one guard who was nice to you in a bar, and all the people in your inn now run this city.
6% of the population.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And we'll call
It's a
it
very awkward
this
manner.
city.
You guess that basically from what you see, there is a cart rolling through the town. It looks like about a dozen people in it.
Bring out your dead.
We ain't dead yet.
You can very clearly see that one of them has indeed been stabbed as it rolls past the inn. There's considering there's like a knife handle deep in their stomach.
Does he
Good
look?
lord.
Now that's just bad form. Who leaves a good knife behind?
How noticeable is this, and does Azalea see it?
Oh, it's obvious. It's just like sticking out of the dude's stomach as he rolls past under you guys on a cart.
Okay, Azalea is like noticeably upset.
Pukes onto the body as it rolls by.
Just pukes off the edge of the wall.
Wait,
Lands in
at which
somebody's
point-
cup.
Yes.
Like seeing
Yes.
all the people who have been trampled and/or stabbed, she's gonna excuse herself and go back inside.
Okay.
I'll go and check
Ben's
on
gonna
her.
go and sort of pat her back and get her a drink. And
Yes.
No, I won't.
All right.
I won't
So
overwhelm her. Did the body look like distinguishable, or like were they wearing anything?
no, looked like a,
Like Frick, whatever her name is.
no.
Okay.
He's
Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies
He's hit the floor.
Let the
Bodies hit the floor. I think that is
Oh,
gonna.
94% of them.
Oh, no. The guy in the cart. He looked like he was a tubby dude somewhere in his 30s. Never seen him
So they
before.
stabbed him because he was fat.
Is this like that story out of Judges?
Yes.
The knife went so deep it was covered.
The fat swallows it up.
No,
No,
it's
because it's sticking out.
yeah. It's sticking out. You can see it.
Eglon
Ehud.
is
Ehud,
a
that was it.
Bible story.
Ehud.
When I was like 5, I was like, that's awesome.
Good lord.
Hashtag killed a fat man on the toilet.
Oof.
All right, and I think this we're going to wrap up for tonight. Thank you guys.
Quotes.
Quotes.
right.
Do you want to start with the first one?
I have to find it. Sure. All right, our first quote. If you're not a corpse, please answer.
Hurdy-gurdies make terrible explosives.
I believe his name was Lieutenant What's-His-Nuts.
They worship the sugar bean. The what? Wait, that's sugar snap peas. Never mind.
Boisterous bunches throughout the city.
Okay then.
They have settled down into boisterous bunches throughout the city.
Sorry, didn't put the first half in there.
Yeah. All right, guys. What do we name this episode off that quotes list?
Boisterous bunches.
The Forgotten.
Oh, I like the forgotten.
Boisterous bunches.
The forgotten. Did I spell forgotten right?
Forgotten.
Yes. The forgotten. I also want to include the first quote. I'm just gonna go with the forgotten. The forgotten and the still unknown.
What?
Sounds mysterious.
Weirdly mysterious.
Precisely. All right.
Probably more like melons and goats and things in our titles, not the Forgotten and the Still Unknown.
Yes. All right. Well, everybody have a great night. Good night, Kira.
Good night, Kira.
Good night, Scott.
Yeah.
Chillax, Scott.
Good night,
Bye,
Scott.
Scott.
Goodbye, Scott.
Toodles. All right. Let's get this
Have a
show
good
off the
week,
road.
Scott.